Sounds good.
Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to our next session presented by Rebecca Aguilar, who is a veteran reporter with 28 years in television news. Today, she's a freelance reporter who works on all platforms. She has covered everything from the Oscars to natural disasters, and she knows social media. She's a former social media columnist and currently has two of the largest groups on Facebook. Rebecca is currently the president-elect for the Society of Professional Journalists, which has close to 6,000 members. So everybody, please welcome Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate the invite. I really do. And I want to say hello to all the students. And if there's any teachers here too, I want to say hello. I love social media. And as a journalist, it is the best tool that has been created. Because, and here's one of the things that I want to say to the students out there, because I have a special surprise, because I don't know how many have joined us. It looks like 8 people. But if you're a student, I have a special surprise at the end of this for you, especially the ones that listened clearly, because I want to hear from you. But I want you to jot down a few things that are important and that I want you to pass along to other high school students, okay? And that is, today, it's not what you know, but who knows you. Remember that. It's not what you know, but who knows you. And will they know you for something you said that was a good thing, or something that you said that was a bad thing on social media? That's important. And I'm so glad I was invited to talk about social media, because I talk to so many journalists, whether they're in high school, college, whether they just started in the business, whether they're veterans. And let me just say, there are a lot of people out there that really use social media for the good. And then there's others that think, well, I'm just going to say this and I can get away with it. So the first thing I want to do is start with Alexi McCammon. Can we show them that, Paul?
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you about how social media can hurt or help you now and in the future. So here's Alexi McCammon. Now, she was an up-and-coming journalist. She had covered the White House. I mean, and she's only 27. Interviewed Trump, interviewed many people. This is a woman that had it going on. 27 years old. I can't even imagine. But look, no, we can keep it down to her photo, Paul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but look what it says right there. Racist tweets she posted at 17 years old cost her a dream job at 27. So she's covering the White House for Axios, and she's on MSNBC as a commentator. Then she gets a great job at Teen Vogue as editor-in-chief. She's the big honcho there. But after she got hired, someone went looking at her social media and realized that when she was 17 years old in high school, she posted racist comments about Asians. And she's a journalist, and we're supposed to trust her, and she's supposed to cover the Asian community? It didn't help. Now, she says, of course, I mean, I'm sure there's things that I said when I was in high school that I regret, but fortunately, there was no social media. She says she's grown up. She learned from that. She's not that person at 17. But you see, what happens when you're in high school is the thought process begins. Are you following the leader? Did one of your friends say something racist? And you're like, yeah, let me say something racist. Did one of your friends say something bully? And you add on to it. Yeah, let's add on to it. I'm not saying Alexi followed the leader. I'm just saying that look what happened to her. Again, what you post today could help or hurt you. Could help or hurt you. There are so many tools out there that will find that digital footprint that you've left. Maybe she thought no one would ever look. Maybe she forgot about it. I mean, come on, it's been 10 years. So make a note for yourself. Start looking at your social media today and decide, is it a keeper or do I have to erase it? And it doesn't mean you don't leave that digital footprint. Let me just tell you that. But at least for starters, you want to clean up that mess. But then here's the beauty about social media. It can also be a great tool to get you noticed as a high school student. Let's show this. I'm going to show you a story. about this young 16-year-old boy. He's a whiz at physics, algebra, math, period. And so we're going to play this video and I want you to watch it. Can we do it full screen, Paul?
You bet.
Okay. We're going to watch this video and learn from this. All right, let's play it.
In today's mix of dance moves and lip syncs, one young voice has broken through.
My name is Alexis, and today we're going to go over inverse functions.
Alexis Loveras, a 16-year-old math whiz from the Bronx, with a formula for success.
So the first thing I would do is input x as 9.
When you saw that first TikTok went viral, what was your reaction?
I was very blown away. It hit like 3 million views and like almost 1 million likes. Hola.
Marhaba. This TikTok tutor now has 700,000 followers worldwide.
Hey guys, so
Students of all ages, shut out of their schools by the coronavirus, are looking for help with algebra, chemistry, and physics, and turning to the smartest kid in the class. Are you famous?
No, I don't want to say I'm famous. I'm just saying like I have a bigger audience now. So now that I have a bigger audience, now I can help out even more people. Now the screen is going to go over to the iPad now.
Loveras now has his own YouTube channel and other online platforms where hundreds of teens at a time help each other.
I'm not good at chemistry.
It's been a lifeline for students like 16-year-old Pierre Zerbito in the Philippines. It sounds like you've made a new friend.
It's not just a friend. I belong in a whole new community.
16 divided by 4.
Teenagers from different worlds finding a common denominator.
Even though we're having some language barriers sometimes, math really connects us all.
There's an expression, it's better to give than to receive, right?
Yes, it is really amazing.
Dr. John LaPook, CBS News, New York.
So there you have it. A perfect example of how a 16-year-old is using social media to be noticed. We can get out of that, Paul, if you want to. And so, he's being noticed, and I bet you anything, Yale, MIT, Harvard, all the Ivy League schools want this kid. First of all, 700,000 followers, and it's not because he's posing there looking cute like those influencers. There's a purpose behind him. He's helping people around the world. He's got a mission. He wants to be positive. He's not putting bully stuff on there. He's not saying racist comments. He's helping. He's being educational and at the same time entertaining because he's very, you saw his TikToks. Excellent. They're excellent. So again, it's not what you know, but who knows you. Look at all the people who know him. And I bet you anything, he's being offered scholarships. He's thrown everything because when you offer something good through social media, something good comes back. When you offer something bad out there, something bad comes back. And that means sometimes ruining your name, the name of your family, the name of your school, the name of your journalism teachers, because they're supposed to be your leaders. Would you really want to embarrass them? No. But this young man, if I was his teacher, I would be so proud. If I was his principal, I would be so proud because he put his school, his friends on the map. And not because he looks cute or he's an influencer, because he is somebody who cares about the world. He doesn't care about anything else but helping people in math. And again, like I said, colleges are looking at him. But let me tell you about, and before we show them this, Paul, let me tell you about 10 students, smart. They got accepted at Harvard. This is the school of the schools, right? Harvard. But then Harvard, after they accepted them, started, and if anybody can, mute yourself. Then Harvard, after they accepted them, which I'm really shocked that they didn't find out until after they said, we're offering you education at Harvard. But then they started looking at their background. And Paul, let's share this story. And so, Harvard looks, and look what happens. Harvard rescinds acceptance for at least 10 students for obscene memes. So what did these students do? I think there was a follow the leader in this group because, let me tell you one thing, please write this down. You need to decide now, are you a leader or a follower? I'm not a follower. I follow nobody. If you're going to put something racist on there, I'm going to call you out. I'm a leader. And especially if you want to be a journalist, you have to be a leader. Because if you're a follower, you're always going to be behind the best reporters. So remember, But in this case, I got a feeling, and again, I don't know, I got a feeling there was a leader there and all the others were followers. But what these students were doing, they were posting obscene, sexually explicit photos and memes and messages about people of color. So that tells me they were probably, I don't know, I'm thinking they were probably all maybe white students. But again, what did I say? This is the ugly. They lost their opportunity to go to Harvard. They'll be lucky if they get accepted at any college because their names are out there. Someone knows who they are. And so look at this. Their social media from high school came back to bite them in the behind. Look at that. Harvard, imagine how embarrassing to their parents, how embarrassing to the school that they went to. I mean, I'm sure the school invested time in them so they could get this opportunity that I never got this opportunity. I never got a job offer to go to Harvard. I wasn't that smart. But many of you may be looking at Harvard. So remember, what you post today could help you or hurt you, and it could definitely haunt you. Oh, that's the other H. Help, hurt, or haunt. This will haunt them for the rest of their lives. It will. So let me give you some tips. And I want you guys to write these down because it's important. And it's something that I tell all journalists. Paul, we can lose that. It's something that we tell all journalists, which is important. But I tell you because, all of you, or I hear that most of you are interested in journalism in some way, in some platform. And I want you to be the best person out there. But at the same time, when you're the best person, you're the best journalist. And people want to tune in to you. I know that if you, and I'll put it, I can use the chat, right, guys? If you look at my Twitter, that's my Twitter, you look at it that, I know people listen to me because of who I am and what I say. I mean, just, last month I had 1.3 million impressions, which means 1.3 million people saw what I said. Doesn't mean they all follow me. It says they saw something and they I don't know whether they liked it or not. But what I do is make sure that it's something that they're going to remember. And that's important. All right. So are all of you, let me see, of these 9 people here, are all of you, tell me in chat, are you all on social media? And can you tell me what social media platforms you're on? If you're here, I would really appreciate if I could see, or I could hear what platforms you're on, if you want to put it in the chat. I don't see anything. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, okay. Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. Okay. Thank you. Marley, thank you. TikTok, Instagram. All right. Emma, Instagram and TikTok. All right, good. Snapchat. All right. All right. And keep telling me, I need to know. Good. Social media, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay. LinkedIn is also another one, Facebook and Twitter. All right. That's important. So here's the thing about social media. And again, as I say, I want to give you my tips that have been real helpful for me, and I think many journalists out there. The first thing that I'm going to tell you is what I call the 4 E's. All right. So when you're about to post something, think about it closely. And think, does it follow one of these 4 E's or include all of them? Is it educational? The TikTok boy, this 16-year-old, it's educational. Will you say something, is the Instagram photo something that's educating someone? It could be a photo of your dog. Maybe you're telling me, hey, adopt more rescue dogs. I see so many, and believe me, it's not just high school. I mean, it's even my age and younger, people just posting selfies. That doesn't tell me anything. Okay. Give me a selfie of you. I don't care if you're getting a cup of coffee at Starbucks, but don't make it about you. It's about us. Remember, social media is not about you, even though we have those influencers. And when I say influencers, I don't mean it in a good thing. Sometimes I think they're very shallow. But because so everybody's trying to be Kylie Jenner, or not everybody's Kylie Jenner. I mean, the girl's a rich girl, grew up in a rich family. You're not all going to be Kylie Jenner. Be yourself. That's another thing. But is it educational? See what am I teaching somebody something about anything? Ask yourself that question. Or is it engaging? Are you engaging me in it? Do I want to get involved? Are you asking, for example, how many people have dogs? Post your dog. People love that. And they'll post their dog, especially if it's a rescue dog. Are you being engaging? Do I really want to get involved in what you're asking me to do? And a lot of times engaging is just asking me a question. How many, you could ask the question, how many of you have gotten in trouble for something you posted on social media? And they'll start typing it. It's like right now, I said, hey, what social media are you involved in? What? You guys immediately answered. So that's a way to do something. Is it empowering? Are you empowering somebody? Are you telling them, man, you can do this? Let's say you just got accepted at, I don't know, give me a university in your state, Mizzou, right? Right? Let's say you got accepted there. You could say something like, I just got accepted at Mizzou. Please tell me where you got accepted and congratulations. Are you empowering people? Are you making them feel good? That is so important. And are you entertaining? I'm not saying you have to dance like that high school TikTok girl, which I know has a lot of followers and whatever. But, are you entertaining? What's great about the 16-year-old TikTok math whiz is he was entertaining, even in the way he produced his videos. He was entertaining. And so that's why even the kid in China or the kid in Europe could relate, because it was fun. Now, I'm not saying entertaining, jumping off a roof, okay? We don't want to be that. We don't want to be silly. Because remember, if you want to be a journalist, I still need to respect you. And if I can't respect you, that means I won't read anything you write. And that definitely means I'm not going to accept you at my university. So even though you want to be entertaining, be safe about it. Make sure it makes you look good. Make sure, again, it's all about not what you know, but who knows you. And you want to be known for being on social media because you are the person that empowers me. You are the person that engages me, the one that educates me. And if you get all four in one tweet or one Instagram, that's a winner. So I always want you to know that when you put something out there, because in my, if you go to my Twitter, you'll see I'm very vocal, but I earned it. Okay. I've already been there, 28 years in TV news. And by the way, in June, I will celebrate 40 years as a reporter, 40 years. And I've lasted this long. Okay. Not everybody gets to last this long, especially a woman. So what I'm saying to you is I'm a success story. And if you see me post my opinion, it's because I've already been there, done that. I've earned my stripes. You haven't yet. So be very careful. Be very careful. Because I know, especially if you're interested in journalism, which thank you so much, you will keep this business alive. That you're special people. You really are. Because journalists care about the world. They don't care just about their little backyard. They care about the world. I know you guys because I didn't get into journalism in high school because we didn't have any programs. We didn't. We had, English classes, but you guys are, in schools that care, and that's important. And you're going to carry on the torch. How are we on time, Paul? Good? Yes? You have to unmute yourself because I can't read lips.
Yeah, we're good. We've got about 20 minutes left.
Good. So here's the thing too. When you're going to get on social media, please don't get on there when you're mad at your bestie. Please. Take a breather. Step away. Don't get on there and say, oh, or you're mad at your teacher. Oh, that teacher, what a jerk, blah, blah, blah. Or, my parents, they're so demanding. Don't. Step away. Take a breather. Just breathe. And then go back. All right? Never follow the leader. Again, if you're a journalist, you have to decide now. Are you a leader or a follower? Guess what? I'm a leader. That's why I've lasted this long. If you want to be a follower, go ahead. But when you get kicked out of school, when someone writes a story that you wrote something bad on social media, don't blame it on anybody but you, the follower, because you followed the leader. Because your high school friends were saying this, well, why don't I? Because you know what? Because you care about your life. They're not thinking. They're not getting this advice right now. Remember that. And ask yourself, if, and this is true, and once you condition yourself, it'll be automatic, huh? what I'm posting on Instagram, what I'm posting on Facebook with it's the 3 Ps. I have the 4 E's and the 3 Ps. Would my principal be proud? Would he be proud? Would he or she be proud? Would my pastor or priest be proud? Would my parents be proud? 3 Ps. Principal, pastor, priest is in there too, and parents. If any of them are no, don't post it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now, I know some of you guys are just saying, oh, well, I have a private Facebook. I have a private Instagram. I have this one called, I'm not going to call it Rebecca Aguilar. I'm going to call it, Miss Mexico, whatever. No one will know it's mine. Honey, we will. Reporters can find anything. And today, social media companies are hired by schools to find every little secret account you have on there. So don't think, and you guys know, if you want to be journalists, we will find every little piece of dirt that will make our story. So if you have a private account, another thing to remember, nothing is private on social media. That's why it's called social media. So you can hide behind a bunch of fake names, but you know what? A good reporter like me is going to find it. A good social media company, these guys are, they find social media fingerprints. They're going to find it. So go tell your friends, nothing is private. I'm going to find that account, no matter what you called it, even if it's under your dog's name with a dog picture, I'm going to find it. And if you wrote anything that shows you're a bully, a racist, a hater, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to out you. And you could lose a lot. And guess what? As journalists, you're going to learn how to do it too, because these are important parts of stories. Important. So I want to ask any of you if you have any questions for me, because that's a lot, a lot for you. If anybody has any questions for me you can write it in the chat, or you can ask me audio wise, let me know. Anybody have any questions? And please, if you're a journalist, don't be shy. No question is a dumb question. Remember that. That's another thing to remember. There's a lot of lessons to be learned here. No question is a dumb question. Does anybody have a question for me? Please be the journalist that's going to have that wants to ask me something. Does anybody? Let me have a sip of coffee. Oh. Don't tell me you have a bunch of shy journalists here. Anybody?
It happens sometimes.
Aurora, do you want to ask me anything? Mary, Carl? Oh no, that's Carrie.
Aurora is one of my students, so I hope she has a question for you.
Oh, Aurora?
Oh, I don't really have a question. I mean, I understood what you were saying, so.
Good. Anybody? Let me tell you, I have a surprise for 2 people. For anybody who asks me the right question or tells me the right thing that I've taught today. And it's a good one, isn't it, Paul?
Yes, it is a very good surprise. There should be questions.
All right, let me see. How can we, this is Carrie, is it Carrie? Yes, okay. So how can we respectfully challenge opinions we disagree with on social media? Whew. Okay, so remember, when you haven't earned your stripes. If you want to be a journalist, it's a very fine line, Carrie, okay? For example, I'm the daughter of undocumented workers turned green card holders turned American citizens, okay? Believe me, when people are bashing undocumented workers and calling them illegal aliens, so I so badly want to get on there and say, shut up. But I also have to be very careful. Now, today I could probably say what I want, because again, like I said, 40 years in the business, I can say what I want, and I don't work for anybody since I'm a freelancer. But back when I was working in TV news, or even at your level, you have to be very careful. It doesn't mean you don't care. It's a fine line. I mean, of course, I'm very much about, don't disrespect women. I'm very much about Me Too. I say it. But it's all about in the way you place the post. For example, if it's an issue about Me Too, women for women, right? You can say, let's say I wrote a story about Me Too and standing up for women in journalism. all you can say by adding your voice is, I see Rebecca Aguilar wrote about Me Too and women in journalism. She has a lot of valid points. What you're saying is you're supporting it, but you're not saying rah, 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 rah. Does that make sense, Carrie? Tell me a yes or a no. Yes? No? Did that make sense? Yes. Okay. And so what I'm saying is you can care about these social issues, but sometimes it's again about putting it in context. For example, and I get this from especially African Americans, about Black Lives Matters. That is a very important movement right now. And it's important because basically Black people are getting their power back. It's getting your power back in a sense. So I always tell people that, especially journalists, if you believe, which I believe in Black Lives Matters, that you put it in context. Maybe find a story that someone has done. Especially if you're an emerging, you're just starting up as a journalist, to say, okay, here's some valid points about this. You're not bashing them, but you're in a sense showing your support, but with a journalistic point of view. Because different from other friends in high school, Carrie, if you want to become a journalist, there will be the news director, the editor-in-chief that will look back and go, so I see you wrote about Black Lives Matter and you're against cops. So that means I can't have you cover any stories about cops because you already said this about cops in your Twitter. See, if I were to write something about, and this has happened, I know people that have said, oh, those Republicans, they're idiots, and they're journalists. And so what happens is the Republican Party will go, you may want to take this reporter off this story because this is what they wrote on Twitter. So they're already biased. And let me just tell you, as journalists, we're all biased. I mean, come on, I just told you, I'm the daughter of immigrants. I'm a Mexican woman. I'm a woman, period. I've seen it all. Our rights are screwed up sometimes. We don't get equal pay as men. I've seen it all. I have bias. No doubt about it. It's in my soul. But when I cover a story and when I cover it on Twitter and I'm saying something, again, I'm a whole different person. I don't work for somebody. But if I was working for ABC News or whatever, I cannot show my bias. When I was covering stories about Donald Trump and I was covering the Trump supporters, my job is to tell both sides of the story, whether I believe in what Mr. Trump was saying or not. That's not the story. The story is Trump and his supporters. And so I would do the best to cover the protesters and the supporters. And that was my job. Same thing with social media. It's a fine line. What I'm saying, at your age, you have to be very careful because there's a lot of people down the road that are going to be judging you. Different from, wanting to be a banker or working at, as an executive at Target. Even those people are very careful today. I hope that answered your question. All right. Any other questions? Let me see. Do you think there's a good way to go about correcting questionable things you posted on social media? Marley, great question. And Aurora, I didn't mean to skip yours. Good way to go about correcting. That is such a good question. I personally would delete them. I'm sorry. That's on the record. I would delete them. And if a company finds them, a company finds them, especially if they're racist, bullied. If you're telling somebody, oh, you were so fat, in that bikini or whatever. Yeah, I would delete them. I'm on the record for saying that, If you correct them, you're bringing them back up. And suddenly I'm like, what? What did you say, Marley? So you really don't want to bring it back up. And there's no way to correct the tweet. There's really, the only one that can correct is Facebook, but then again, it brings it back up. So in my opinion, I would erase it, delete it. But again, there is a fingerprint out there. But it makes it harder, I think, to, make them find it. And, but look at it, was I being a bully? Was I just being nasty? Gosh. And it happens in high school, man. I was in high school. I remember, thank you, God, there was no social media, because I'm sure I would have blasted people because I just come from that kind of blasting kind of background. So that's what I would do. And I say it on the record. Aurora, what do you think is the ideal thing to share on social media? What makes something a perfect post? Again, follow the E's. Is it educational? Are you empowering people? Are you making them feel good? Are you educating something? You know, I learned this in my journalism class, hashtag journalism, you know, blah, 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 da, da, da. Is it entertaining? Is it fun? You know, is it, you know, I mean, I don't need to see, you know, because I see that girl on TikTok dancing every day for 15 seconds or whatever. Um, but again, be noticed for the good things. And let me just tell you, as people who want to go up the ranks in journalism, someone like me will notice you. You know, I noticed a woman that just got out of, you know, I don't know when she graduated from college, but she wrote something real positive on social media. And I called her and said, are you part of SPJ, the Society of Professional Journalists, by the way? You know, please join it if you can't, because, you know, we want high school students there. But I said, are you part of SPJ? Because she wrote something empowering. And she's like, no. I said, I'm paying for, thank you. And she was like, whoa, see, this is a girl from New Mexico. I didn't even know, but she wrote something that I noticed. And you just never know who's going to have something out there. You know, they may have, you may be write something, you know, and they're like, you know what, let's give that girl our scholarship. That was really good. I really like that. Journalism departments, journalism teachers, professors, foundations, they're looking for people that empower, that engage, that are educational, that are even a little entertaining, because they have money to give away in scholarships. Wouldn't it be nice to get a scholarship because of one thing you said on social media? I think it'd be really nice. All right, anybody else have any? How are we on time?
We've got about a little less than 10 minutes left here.
All right, any other questions? So, okay. So one of the things that I tell all of you is, in a sense, it's your homework. You know, I would take each platform and start going back and remember, maybe there was a day that you were upset with a professor or a teacher. That's why we have delete. And you need to also start schooling your friends. Okay. You need to unfollow and unfriend those racist people, those haters, those people that talk down to women, or, you know, or just, you know, they're just not good people. Maybe they're your friends. Okay. I have a lot of friends. Okay. I do. But do I have them all on my social media? No. In fact, my motto is this, and then maybe it's a good motto to have, maybe a good guideline to have on your social media: 3 strikes, you're out. On my Facebook, I always tell people, if you say anything racist, if you say anything about immigrants, if you put down women, you're out. You're out. I have rules. If you want, it's like me welcoming you in my home. You come in here, you disrespect me or my people or women or journalists, you're out. You're out that door. You have the power. But when you give away your power, oh, I lost a little. I hope I didn't lose you. When you give away your power, you lose your strength. Don't give away your power. Now's the time to go on your social media. And if there's people following or your friends, I don't care if they have 1 million followers and they're haters, dump them. They're racist, dump them. They put down, you know, people because they're LGBTQ, or they put down women because we're women, or, you know, dump them. You don't need those people in social media. You don't need them in your life. You want people that will lift you up, not drag you down, in person and on social media. You want to survive as long as I have. You can't imagine how many offers I get for jobs, for opportunities, like Paul getting in touch with me. You don't know. Again, it's not what you know, but who knows you. And I'm known for good things. And you should too, because I know that I'm not always going to be on this earth. And I hope that you, especially you that really wants to be a journalist, that you will be able to, you know, go into my shoes and go, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So, you know what? Don't lose your power. Be a good person. Empower, educate, make sure your posts are approved by the parents, the priest, and the principal. And just be a good person. Just be a good person. Don't get caught up. I know, I mean, I was in high school, you know, there were bullies, there were There were racists in my school. There were the popular people. There were the druggies, of course. You know, there's all kinds. But you need to decide today, are you a leader or a follower? If you're a follower, don't come back and complain when you lose that scholarship because of something you said. Don't come back and complain because, you know, I didn't get that opportunity. If you're following somebody, you need to take back your power. That's important. I hope that makes sense. Any other questions? No? Okay, so is Marley, Aurora, and Carrie all students?
Yeah, I'm a student.
Okay, so, and Carrie, okay, so I don't know who said yeah. Is that Carrie or is that Marley or Aurora?
I'm also a student. This is Marley.
So all of them are students, right, Paul?
No, Carrie is a teacher.
A teacher, okay. So, and Carrie, good question. Oh, I'm an advisor in a classroom for my students. Good, good. So I hope you wrote all that down. So, but Aurora and Marley are students, correct? Yes.
Yep, I'm a student.
All right. So because you had the bravery of asking me a question, I am going to pay for your SPJ student membership. And so Paul, your job is to get me their emails so I can make sure that they are in our system. And if you go to spj.org, you'll see everything we have to offer. Marley, tell me about you real quick. I mean, do you want to be a journalist? What do you want to do?
I'm not really sure because I was on the newspaper staff at my school last year and I was on newspaper and yearbook last year and I'm yearbook editor this year and I could kind of see myself doing something in that realm, but
Let me just say, at your age, I had no clue. So you're lucky you have one clue. I had no clue. I didn't decide until my sophomore year in college. That's the truth. So hopefully now with this membership with SPJ, you'll be able to go over there and explore to what we have to offer. Maybe you'll be inspired to stay in it and maybe not, but at least you're in a group of people that are doing what, you know, we love to do. And the more you expand your mind, the more that you'll know what opportunities are out there. Okay. And Aurora, what about you? Tell me about you.
I don't really, I'm kind of in the same boat with Marley. I don't really know if I want to pursue journalism like for my career, but it is definitely something I'm really interested in.
Well, here's the thing. Even if neither of you pursue journalism, the bottom line is you're learning how to write. You're learning how to tell a story. When you apply for colleges, you got to tell them your story. And if you don't tell a good story, you don't get in. Got to get, you know, they need to be able to know you through something you wrote. And even if you decide to go in business or you just decide to go get your, you know, after college, get your master's, what journalism does is prepares you to be a great storyteller, a good writer. And that's important. You know, you don't have to go into journalism, but it's a strength that you will have. So if you guys want to be, you know, if you guys want to accept, I mean, Aurora and Marley, if you guys want to accept my gift to you, let me know. Let Paul have your emails. Or you know what, you can, here, I'm going to give you my email. And if you want it, let me know and I will take care of it. I will take care of the membership. We also offer scholarships, by the way. There is, yeah, there's my email. You can send it directly to me. So anyway, how are we on time? Are we done?
Yes, we're good.
So I appreciate it, Paul, for the invite. Donald, did you want to ask me any questions or are you just kind of sitting there behind your mask?
Well, I was curious what you thought about the court case that's coming up. May go to the Supreme Court with the cheerleader who posted on social media and was expelled from the squad. And so she's suing. And I was just curious what your prediction would be with regard to how that case would work out.
Yeah, that's a good case. I mean, I think, first of all, you know, when the Supreme Court listens to a case, it can shift everything. And so I think that is one case that we need to keep an eye on, win or lose. What it teaches us is whether in social media or in personal life, if you feel you've been wronged, you take it through the legal system.
Right.
But this one will definitely affect this one will definitely affect, it's going to open up a whole different area. Because again, when it concerns, especially high school and colleges, and especially when it concerns like anything that has to do with social media, we're in a whole different area right now. And I don't even know if the Supreme Court is, because, you know, they're all older people, but I know they have the legal background. I don't know if they're even ready for it. You know what I mean?
Well, just Clarence Thomas at one point, one of his dissents said that he thought Tinker versus Des Moines should be overturned. So the fact that the makeup of the court has been altered so drastically, I was just wondering how much authority they were going to give the administrations over student speech and such.
Well, again, you're dealing with a very, in a Supreme Court that's very lopsided right now, very lopsided. And so it is in the hands of them. I think there's some nice surprises, you know, that I'm seeing, like Kavanaugh and the woman, the last woman brought in, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. They seem to have more of a discussion, which I just thought, you know, sometimes in some cases this is the way it goes. Because, you know, we're more Republican bent over, you know, liberal or Democrat bent, right? I think the Supreme Court in all these cases, when it pertains to this, as always, they're hard to predict, but it's something that we need to keep an eye on. And I think they're a great story. So anyway, let me see. Well, I have something else in this chat, nothing else. Okay, my students want to say thank you. Okay, yes, thank you so much. I mean, again, you know, have fun on social media. Clean up your social media now. Don't be a follower. And the last thing, it's not what you know, but who knows you. So be known for a good thing. All right, Paul, Donald, class, journalists, anybody needs me, you can find me on Twitter. You got you have my email. I do get about 100 emails a day. So, you know, make sure you post, if you're going to write me something, put, I was in your MIPA, you know, class. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Paul, call on me anytime. And don't forget to join SPJ. Donald, join SPJ. Carrie, join SPJ. All right?
Will do.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
You're welcome. Thank you.